all set up? Not yet. There we go. All right. Okay. So, a couple people are on. Nice to see you all. Welcome. Welcome to our Thursday meditation. Let's see here. Wait. So, I'd like to welcome you. It's Thursday. Get ourselves prepared for Shabbat. But we're also looking, as we have all week, at the creation story in the book of Genesis. And I want to move a little bit forward. Hello, good evening, Sess. I want to move a little bit forward in the story, the story of Cain and Abel, the first two people that were born in the world. There is something a little strange about that. Number one, like how would there be other people, and right? And Cain goes and marries someone in the next town. Who's living in the next town? There's lots of issues with this story and where it occurs in the Torah. But I wanted to look at one moment, just to refresh your memory on the Cain and Abel story. Cain and Abel are the first two, born to Adam and Eve, and they both bring they both bring they both bring offerings to God. Abel brings the fruits, and Cain brings the firstling. Cain brings the fruits. Abel brings the firstlings of his flock, and God accepts Abel's offering and doesn't accept Cain's offering. And Cain goes like this. And God's like, "Why is your face fallen?" Excuse me. Why is your face fallen? If you do good things, there's uplift. But if you don't, then it has the line, sin couches at your door. I'm sorry, I have to interrupt for one moment. I've been just looking there. Helene's on there. Michelle is on there. Happy birthday, Michelle. It's the last day of September, and it's Michelle's birthday. So we can all wish her happy birthday, Chuck and Lisa. You can wish happy birthday to Michelle. And I'd like to say happy birthday. So we're at this point where Cain's head goes down. God's like, if you do good, there's uplift. But if you don't, sin couches at your door. Some people say it crouches at your door, but the word really is in English that I've seen translated as it couches at your door. But you can overcome it. That brings up the idea of what are we? Are we sinful? Are we good? They just ate from the tree of knowledge of good and evil, so human beings know to be both. And here we have, in our first example of two people, a situation where one of them gets so upset with the other that he indeed ends up killing him. Because no sooner does God say, sin couches at your door, but you can overcome it. Cain and Abel go into the field, and Cain rises up against Abel and kills him. So, in that one line that God says to Cain, I think right there sums up the way Judaism looks at good and evil. It basically says, you have the potential to do good. and you have the potential to do evil. Both of these things exist in you, but you have the power to overcome one over the other. In usual parlance in Judaism, those are thought of as Yetzer Tov and Yetzer Ra. The Yetzer is something that's created inside of us. Or some people translate it as an inclination. So there's the inclination for goodness and there's the inclination for evil. And each one of us has this inside of us. I have it inside of me. You have it inside of you. Everybody we know has it inside of them. Unless you think your mother doesn't, she does too. So we've got this balancing act that happens every single day of our lives. And especially now when there's so much going on that's so frustrating, so much that's difficult. There are so many conflicting emotions that are going through us that it's very easy to lash out. It's very easy to be so upset that you want to do something about it. And we're always, no, I shouldn't say we're always, there are times where we're hit with this, you can do one or two things here. You can move to this side, which will bring about goodness, or you can move down this road. Or you can move down this road, which is, I don't love the word evil or sin, but you can go down the dark road, right? There's a road that's luminous, and then there's a road that's a little darker. And each one of us, every day, at any time of the day, can lead down one or the other. And in fact, I would suggest that we do lead down both. There's times when we do good, and there's times when we mess up, and we're not as good as we would like to be. And we're maybe a little flippant, or a little quick, or a little piercing, a little sharp. And we don't take into consideration people's feelings as much. All of us have that inside of us. And I think one of the things that we can do, hello Jerry, one of the things that we can do is notice when it is that we're getting so frustrated or so upset that we may lash out at someone, and that we're sitting in that place where Cain was, where he felt the upset. He felt like he wanted to do something to his brother, but there's that moment where he hadn't done anything. You can think whatever you want to think, but your actions are the things that really in the end define you. And so there is that moment where, for Cain, all he had to do was think about it a little bit and change his mind as to what he really wanted to do, and take a different road. Yet instead, he let those emotions overcome him, and he let himself get to a place where there was no turning back. So I guess what we can try to do is notice those times where our heads does fall, where we are frustrated, where we are upset, where things aren't going our way. And we can notice what it does to us and what that feels like. And then we can think about that line. If you do good, there is uplift. But if you don't, sin couches at your door. Yet you can overcome it. We don't need to go down the direction that our emotions want to take us. We can go in the direction of goodness, and we can go in the direction of uplift. But we have to notice it. So, with all that in mind, we're going to go quiet now, and perhaps those thoughts will come into your head. That's very strange. It looks like we went off. Here we go. And we're back on now. That was very, very strange. It felt like we went off, and then on my computer it went off, and now it's coming back on. Look at everyone saying happy birthday to Michelle. Michelle, I hope you find a good meditation today. So let's go quiet. Let's breathe. Let's think about our breathing, concentrate on our breathing. We don't need to solve any problems. We don't need to, even if we're feeling frustrated or angry, we don't need to do anything about it for the next 20 minutes. Let's bring ourselves to a place of peace and stillness. Let's just allow everything to be as it is for now, for this moment. This is the work. The work is just and to be quiet and to think about our breath and to think about just being and not doing. So let's take that time to quiet ourselves. Hello, and look, everybody's saying happy birthday to Michelle. I guess she deserves it. Here we go. And just allow yourself to breathe normal. Don't try to push it. If you feel like you need to take a big breath, take a big breath. A small one, a small one. That yawn. Don't try to push anything. Just try to be, to exist. As your mind takes you away from your breathing, just with loving kindness, without judgment, just bring yourself back to your breath, because that's what we're doing right now. Some days it's easier than others. we start bringing our meditation to a close, we ask for two feelings. It's Thursday, third of the priestly benedictions. May I feel joy, and may I feel whole. Joy in anticipation of Shabbat. Just came out of Sukkot. We were commanded to be joyful. Joy puts that smile on your face, a sense of well-being, and a feeling of wholeness. And so we ask, may I feel joy? May I feel whole? Feel like everything is in its place for me or for you. Feel whole, like my whole being is aware of itself. May I feel joy. May I feel whole. May I feel joy. May I feel whole. May I feel joy and whole. May I feel joy. And may I feel whole. May I feel joy. And may I feel whole. May I feel joy. May I feel whole. May I feel joy, and may I feel whole. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope that you were able to find some peace and stillness. May you feel joy, and may you feel whole, and may you have a wonderful evening, a fantastic Shabbat, and a beautiful weekend. And we'll see you next Tuesday. Take care.